It's a good day. Some actual talent in the room. Head coach for the Siena women's team, Allie Jackson. Well, I mean, look, I got to talk to him every day.
What about you? It includes you in that.
Well,
Guys, don't start fighting off the bat.
Have you ever had a practice like this where you're going to go in and just shut the ladies down right away? Like, all right, everybody, calm down.
Too many fouls.
Yeah, actually, we have. It's a good problem to have.
How are you? We haven't seen you in a while.
I'm great. Things are good. Yeah, I haven't seen you guys.
I know. You and I had a nice back and forth. You were on vacation. We were talking some Yankees baseball online.
I was. Yeah.
And then she comes in and I go, oh, how was vacation? How do you know about my vacation? Well, I was going through your garbage, and like any good friend would do.
For those who may have missed it, what was this conversation on social media between you two?
You were going to watch the Yankee game, and the bartender didn't know what the Yankees were. Is that
so? We were in Miami, went down to the Keys for a couple days, and I'm like, you have to be on island time. Like, it's going to be laid back. It's going to be relaxed. And I was with a super Yankees fan, right? So we go into Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, and he's like, oh, you have the Yankees game on? And bartender, straight-faced, deadpan, looks at us and goes, hockey? It's like island time. It's different down here.
Wow. I think I would have passed out. You would have had to, like, probably pull me off the guy. Like, really?
But let me finish the story, because fast forward 4 nights. We're in Miami last night, have a nice dinner. Couple walks by. He says, I think that was Jorge Posada. I'm like, no, that guy's too short. No way. Hour and a half later, Jorge Posada and his significant other, Hannah and Derek Jeter, walk by. And that was the cap off of my vacation. Yes.
Wow.
And, you know, half the core 4, I froze. Like, for the first time in life, I froze. I was like, someone else has to speak. I can't right now.
So, yeah. I know. Like, usually you're, you know.
Yeah, no, I was done. Like, normally, I'm just, I have something, I can make up something to talk about. No,
Right.
Froze.
Well, you command rooms all the time with the Siena ladies. What's your outlook for this season?
I'm excited. I think, you know, ask me in a little bit, but in about 12 days, we have 6 freshmen coming in. So 6 freshmen is a lot. That's like more than, it's a half our team. But for the players that we've had back on campus this week, this first session of summer school, workouts have been really, really good. It's, you know, we talked to them and said, what do you guys need to work? What do you think you need to work on? And we've really kind of curtailed workouts to the players we have coming back. And we've done some different things, some fun things. And it's been good. It's been great. But I think in a couple weeks when we get these freshmen in and we have 10 people in workouts consistently, we'll really have 4 weeks of solid workouts. So it'll be good.
Coach Jack's with us right now for the Siena women's team, and it's funny. The more I get to talk to you, the more you seem to be doing that with the whole, like, empowering your players and seeing where they think they are and just kind of molding them that way.
Well, I think that a couple of years ago I realized that I had to adjust to the millennial generation, whether I liked it or not, and they have to feel ownership of what they're doing. And this team is really relatable and very mature, and I think we've gotten to that point as a program where if I'm just telling them what to do all the time, it doesn't work, and they have to feel invested and have some ownership in it. And I think that's something that this past graduating senior class, the 3 that graduated, really helped teach me as a coach.
That's something we were talking about yesterday on the air, Levack, that there's some older coaches who may have started their careers in the 70s or the 80s, and that dynamics has shifted so much to the 2018s now that the players just don't respond the same way. We almost talked about it, that there's this almost chicken and the egg scenario that the players think they got good because they put the time and effort into it, and the coaches believe, well, you're good because you're getting coached by me. That's a tough dynamic to try to figure out sometimes.
It's different. When my coach told me to jump, I said how high and for how long, right? And if I ask them to jump, they're going to say why. And as frustrating as that is for us to have to try to teach, that is what it is, and it's not going to change anytime soon. So I think there has to be a happy medium, and I think part of our success this year was that we were able to find that happy medium between our senior leadership and our coaching staff.
That's got, man,
it's hard. You bite the bullet, yeah.
Am I like I'm totally about to go like old man, like yell, get off my lawn, like that doesn't drive you nuts?
It drives me crazy, yeah.
Yeah?
But I really like my job.
Right, that's true.
And we have to figure out there's been a lot of talk at all of our coaches conventions about how do we reach this next generation. I mean, this cell phone and social media has had an impact on everybody in every business and every.
Right, I got to deal with Goz. I get it.
My sister's in the military. I mean, if military leaders are having to make adjustments, then I think the rest of us probably need to think about it a little bit.
You can't be tough in the military anymore? I'm out.
No, she's tough.
All right.
My sister's way tougher than anybody else in my family. So
I was going to say, you're pretty tough. She's tougher than you?
Way tougher.
I'm a little afraid.
You should be.
Yet curious. I kind of need to see tougher Allie Jacks.
No.
I got to go back to the Derek Jeter thing. I think we left this hanging here, all right? How did you I think you freezing actually was a good thing though, because I feel like Levack, you and I know this. Like when certain, especially male fans, see somebody that they've watched since a kid, they have a similar reaction, but they kind of freeze up and then scream, "I love you, Jeter!"
Yeah.
Like they don't. I'm glad you didn't do that.
Or are critical of the person, which is the
Right.
last thing you want. Like they just wanted to have a private, nice dinner, right? So, it was pretty cool. I honestly.
Did he dodge the attention there, or people?
He knew that I recognized him because I was like, I mean, you'd have to be. You can't see my face right now.
Jaw hit the floor.
I was kind of did the head nod thing, and that was enough for me.
See, when I met Jeter on your campus.
Yeah,
when he came to Siena,
I would have had something to talk about.
Right. See,
I'm supposed to be talking about selling season tickets and everything right now.
We will.
We're the home for
dropping
the
the ball
Yankees.
here.
No, we're fine.
But I mean, Jeter has that aura around him. Because even me, who never shuts up, I was like, I just want to thank you for what you meant for my fandom, and I really appreciate everything you've done. And he went, that's a really nice guy. As he walked away, and I went, Jeter thinks I'm nice. So there is that, and then if I ever meet A-Rod, that'll be a very different conversation.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But head coach Allie Jackson.
You'll be asking about J-Lo, right?
I won't be asking about much. So how
about J-Lo.
how many injections during a season, Alex? What? You're gonna really
Can't be that guy. Come on.
I can. I'm a bitter fan. I'm bitter. I admit it.
I understand. We could talk about this for hours, though.
I know. Well,
We've got 4 of them.
5. Where are you going? 4.5.
4.5 today, right in the middle.
Yankees baseball tonight when they play the Nationals in the Bronx. That's after us, but yeah, we could keep going. We got nothing else to do. I got no plans.
You know what? Let's just make sure we talk about the tickets, just in case this goes a little long. $90. You can get season tickets to Siena all women's and men's basketball games for the upcoming season, plus season admission to Saratoga Racecourse. How awesome is that?
I think it's a great deal, honestly, and to have this partnership is really important for our fans because a lot of fans that go to those games are going to Saratoga in the summer as well. And I have made some personal goals with our attendance. I think with the renovations that we've had in the Arc and some of the commitment that our administration has made to our program as well as the men's program, it's really important. I think the next step for us, we've proven we can win on a regular basis. It's really important that we build that home court advantage and really get consistent fans in our stands rooting for our kids and giving us that sixth man on the court and that extra home court advantage. So as we've proven to be at the top of the MAC, we're battling Quinnipiac and Marist on a regular basis now. And, I think for us, that's the next step in our plan and our program. So getting more season ticket holders and getting more people out to support Siena women's basketball is what I'm trying to do as much as possible in the next coming months.
Plus, it's $90 for 3 great sporting events for the whole season. And
you're going to go anyways, hopefully, right? So, just makes it easier. But yeah.
No, it's a great idea. It's a great pairing. Speaking of pairings, how do you feel about the new men's coach, Jamie and Christian?
That was a nice transition,
Very
right
good.
there.
Every once in a while, I dust off the old training for the broadcasting.
Coach and I have had a chance to talk a few times, and I'll tell you what, those guys work really hard. They've got, I don't know if am I allowed to say it, they've got recruits on campus every day. They're really busting it since they've been there, and they got their workouts. I mean, just watching the tail end of their workouts, we come in on the court after them, and guys are real enthused and working really, really hard, and they're out on the turf running sprints in the sun. My players are looking at me like, "Don't get any ideas, coach." I'm like, "Hey, stay in shape, and we don't have to." So, but I think it's going to be a real exciting brand of basketball, and up and down and high tempo, and hopefully lots of scoring. And I think our fans are looking for that and to get back to that. And it's going to be great, but it takes time. It's taken time to build for us, and it takes time. So. But he's been great to work with so far.
that Havoc defense, that 40 minutes of hell, the full court press, the
Havoc is shocking.
VCU, yeah. Coach will yell at me. I'll run a sprint for that. That's no problem. Well, speaking about things you may or may not be allowed to talk about, because you brought up recruits, and I think you're fine there. Let's just toss it out there and see if I just get you bite on the line here. Any updates on the Albany Cup from your guys' end? And if you want to say what's going on in the men's, fine. That's good, too.
I don't know what's going on the men's side. I had tried to work something out with the previous coaching staff leading into the season, and we had dates set, and things kind of fell apart, so I had to move on. We're not going to be playing them this year, and unless something changes from our administration. I know Colleen really well. I've known her, and her wife actually used to be the head coach at my alma mater, so I know their family. Cool. And she called me right away, and I said, listen, I've been trying to work this out, but you'll understand a little bit that the dynamics of this might be a little bit above us. So I'm going to leave that to the powers that be. I would love to welcome them at Siena 1920. I think that would be great, and start a home and home with them. And if we can't do it as a doubleheader, then I think it'd be great for women's basketball and girls basketball in the area. Women tend to have their schedule done a lot earlier than guys do, so I had to lock in some games to get our schedule done. But I know we have 6 home games in the non-conference, which should be great for our fans, which is more than usual. So we're really trying to build our fan base.
It would be typical for the women's side to be smart, figure it out first, and then the men have to follow suit. That would be, no. I know you can't just not agree with me, but
no. Well, I think it's important you get the right date too. A couple of years ago, we did it as the opening game, and I just think that's dumb because opening game, people are going to come anyways, right? But and I just think for both programs, I liked that first weekend in December. You're past Thanksgiving, so you've gotten some non-conference games out of the way. But we had talked about that first weekend in December. We're both going into finals the week after, so hopefully Colleen and I'll be able to work that out in the future. And I've got 2 games left. I only have 2 games left to schedule right now for 1920, so I'm hoping that Albany's one of them.
Well, Coach Mullen, the new head basketball coach for the women over at UAlbany, you and Coach Mack had like a very respectful kind of like rivalry. Are you going to miss another chance to take her down on the court?
Yeah, because I still have to beat them.
Right. Well, I was just saying, you put it that way. I didn't.
I have no problem. I'm very transparent with things.
Right.
Say it like it is.
Unless you're Jeter, and then you just clam it up.
Total frozen. Like it was embarrassing.
Well, guys, give the details on the deal one more time.
Yes, again, just for $90, you get a season ticket to all Siena men's and women's basketball games for that 2018-2019 season, plus season admission pass to Saratoga Racecourse. For more details, check it out online now, SienaSaints.com.
And I think with the Triple Crown and everything that happened last weekend with horse racing, I think it should be another great year for Saratoga, hopefully, and that always sparks interest. I remember a couple years ago with American Pharoah, just kind of, crazy. Saratoga always has great crowds and everything, but when something like that happens, it kind of, you start paying attention a little bit more to the sport. So, it should be a great summer for it. So, it'll be a lot of fun.
And like probably one of the most underrated sporting events in the area are your games. The ladies from Siena. When I brought my daughter, who I'm always trying to find another sport to get her interested in, just for one more thing to do. And after that, it was an expensive game for me. I had to go get a new hoop for the yard. I had to get some new basketballs on. No, it's she's out there playing horse with me and stuff now. So it's all because the effort that your ladies put out last season. When she
get her to come to camp too. We've got camp coming up in the middle of July, July 16th to the 20th. Actually, she might be too old because we can't have high school age kids. She's in high school, right?
Yeah, she'll be.
Yeah, we can't have high school age kids.
Yeah, she turns 15 right after that. So.
Yeah, we'll have. We have a week of camp. We had to change our weeks. It's a long story. You don't want to hear it, but we can't have high school age kids in our camp this year because of the NCAA rules and the week that we're doing it. I know. Trust me. But we do have camp in the middle of July, which, we've got a bunch of kids signed up. It's always a fun week, and our whole team will be there. So
full details at Siena's website?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Allie Jack's nice enough to join us. Hopefully she'll come back. I do kind of want to see her speechless, so I'm going to have to at least get a Jeter lookalike through here at least one point because I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. Apparently I talk too much, but no.
No. We love it. We love having you on. So thank you so much, and best of luck as you prepare for this season, and please come in whenever you want.
Hey guys, have a great summer. Thanks so much for having me.
Wait, this is your first time in our room. We usually come to you.
Yeah.
Huh, look at
Door's
that.
always open. Walk right in if you want.
This is how we know we've made it, guys.
Yeah.
She's got to come to
Please.
us finally.
That's how I know I've made it. This is had all the stars on my calendar for the week. I mean, it's all downhill from here, guys.
So you hear that? Jeter, Posada, Levack Goz, right under it. We're right under
here.
it.
That's
You're right there.
Oh, I love it. Coach, best of luck. Thanks so much.
Thanks. Go Saints.